Welcome to Incora Hazcom's website, a system for worldwide safe use practices of hazardous chemicals. With this powerful tool at your fingertips, you'll be able to access critical safety and handling information on any chemical. To access your Incora Hazcom, locate the link either on your intranet, which logs you automatically into Incora Hazcom, or go to our website. If you go to our website, please have your username and password ready. If you don't know it, ask your local Incora Hazcom administrator. Type in your username and password and click either Submit, or you can click the keyboard Enter key. After logging in, the main area of Incora Hazcom is called the chemical list. You can scroll through and easily find what you're looking for. On the left are additional navigation items such as emergency contacts, safe use guides, definitions, training, and if you're a healthcare facility, environment of care, as well as emergency plans. For now, let's look at the chemical list. When the program opens, you will be either at your company or facility level. You do not need to change locations to search for an SDS. If you do wish to change location, click Select Locations. Find the location you're looking for, and then click the location or the sublocation, and you're immediately returned to that particular location. We support Google Translate in our program. To change the language in the chemical list, click the Change Language tab. You will see a number of different languages that are available through Google Translate. Pick the language of choice, and the screen will adjust and translate as best it can for all the pages on the site. SDSs and labels will not translate because they are PDF files, but anything that is a web page will translate in the appropriate language. To change the language back, click Show Original or click the X at the top of the screen, and it will return back to the original language. You can click Hide to hide the languages afterwards. The chemical list can contain many entries. The most important feature of the chemical list are the search tools. We have two: basic and advanced search. You can always use advanced search to search for more unique information, such as if you find a chemical based on what target organs it's associated with, or you can look up user-defined part numbers. For a basic search, you can search on an SDS by entering the product name or a partial product name in the search box, then clicking the Search or Enter key. You can also search for product synonyms, manufacturers, part numbers using the basic search. Now let's try to find a chemical. You have a product, but you can't remember the product name, but that it does have the word ammonia in it. Type the letters AMM into the search box and then press Enter on the keyboard or Search. So these items match the search that you've put in. Now let's look at the first one, ammonia hydroxide. First you see the GHS required elements, which is the GHS signal word, the hazard classification, and the pictograms associated with this particular item. At a glance, this is a skin corrosive and toxic substance. To the left side of the product information, you see 3 buttons that allow you to choose what information about the product you want to see first: the product summary, the SDS, or the safe use guide. Above these is the material ID and any part numbers or synonyms assigned. First, click on the SDS button. You will see a PDF of the latest version of the SDS. Using your PDF viewer, you can print or save this locally. At the top, you'll see a revision date history of that particular product. You can use any of the drop-down previous versions of this product, and you can see the previous SDS for this particular product. This can be very helpful if you have older chemicals on hand with an earlier revision. You may want to see if there has been additional hazards or ingredients added to the product, or perhaps changes to the recommended personal protective equipment. It allows you to find the SDS applicable to the product you have on hand. Now let's demonstrate what information is presented when you click on the Summary button. A new window opens up with the Summary sheet. Please note before using any chemical in your facility to review the critical safety information found here in the summary. At the top, you'll find the signal word, the hazard classification, and that it is a skin corrosive toxic substance, as well as the pictograms, again stated for that particular product. Just below, you have the hazard statements and precautionary statements. As you continue to scroll down, you will find other important sections related to the product: routes of exposure, target organs, personal protective equipment by manufacturer, or in addition by facility ingredients and components of the product, and physical properties. Further down are additional sections that may be added by your Incora Hazcom administrator, including any additional documents, synonyms, part numbers, and location assignments and groups. Various other information topics may be included by Incora Hazcom administrator, including notes on emergency, purchasing, disposal, shipping information, and supplier identification. These notes could be for all locations or your location or combined. Once again, returning to the original product information, click on the Safe Use Guide. The Safe Use Guide functions as an emergency response guide. It contains all the required GHS information, beginning with the hazard classification, followed by pictograms and the signal word, then followed by the hazards and hazard statements. Scrolling down, there are sections for general safety, fire, spill response, and first aid. Each of these sections are written in an easy to understand do's and do not format. Clicking on the Labels tab, the secondary container labels contain necessary information, including product information, safe use guide number, signal word, hazard classification, pictograms, and routes of exposure, target organs, and recommended personal protective equipment. There is also room on the label for additional information that may be provided by your Incora Hazcom administrator. In addition, there are simplified labels which have only the pertinent information for each product. Here's an example of one of the labels. In addition, your Incora Hazcom administrator may have completed ad hoc labels. These are labels that are customized for what you need to print. This label prints one per page. For more information on how to use the label, please contact your Incora Hazcom administrator. When it comes to safely handling chemicals, one important area that needs to be considered is storage compatibility. This section provides the storage compatibility for the product under three important headings: products it's okay to store with, other chemicals you should not commingle with, and chemicals you should not store together. The term commingle is applied to chemical storage means that you may store the product in the same cabinet, but you should not put them in the same shelf as these products, so that you should separate them in some kind of secondary isolation container. Next is the Regulatory Information tab. This information is provided based on your company's subscriptions. In the regulatory list, the listed columns show if the product may be listed in a regulatory list and any comments. In the By CAS number or Chemical Abstract Number tab, each ingredient is listed with associated list names and any comments about that list. You can filter by each ingredient by clicking the ingredient drop-down. Returning to the left navigation, the Emergency Contacts page lists those available in case of emergency with full contact information. Below that is the Safe Use Guides for all 195 classifications. The Definitions page gives both the technical GHS definition along with an easy to understand English definition. Down below is the training page, which provides a link to training based on your setup with Incora Hazcom. If you work with the healthcare facility, the Environment of Care feature provides your Incora Hazcom administrator with the opportunity to load Environment of Care management plans. The Emergency Plans feature access to any and all applicable emergency plan documents your administrator may provide, as well as the Hazcom plan or any ERP plans. There is one more important feature that we'd like to point out. We have email technical support, so whilst you're using the product and you have a question, you can email technical support and they can assist you with your questions. As well, if you have a question, click the help and it'll give you an easy to understand logistic on how to find information. You can search and find any information based on what it is you need to know. We also have frequently asked questions that we are asked so that it can further assist you in finding an answer to your questions. This concludes our accessibility tour of Incora Hazcom. If you have any additional questions or comments, see the help file or email us at hazcom.support@wescoair.com. Thank you and have a great day.